What's up, you guys? My name is Tom Watkins. I'm a guitar player, songwriter, and teacher, and I'm making this video for Music Over Miles to show you guys how to play articulations on the guitar. Without these articulations, the music would sound kind of stale. It would almost sound like an exercise, something like this. So it still fits, it still sounds good, but it just kind of sounds like a scale. So adding these articulations will really help bring more emotion into your playing. Let's look at some of the most common articulations, and the first one I want to look at is called a hammer-on. And it's very intuitively named because you're literally hammering your finger on a note that's already ringing out, right? So that sounds like this. So I'm plucking the 5th fret on the G string and then letting the 2nd finger hammer on to the 6th fret on that string. There's also pull-offs, which is the exact opposite. So instead of hammering the finger onto 5, we're gonna pluck, onto 6. We're gonna pluck 6 first and then pull that finger off to fret 5. So that's fret 6 on the G string with fret 5 on the G string held down on my index finger, and then you pull it off. Another very common articulation is a bend. A bend sounds like this. So it's kind of the technique in your hand will take a little bit to get used to that, how that feels. But as you can kind of see, my thumb is kind of anchored at the top here, and I'm using my 3rd finger on the G string on the 7th fret. And so when you pluck that string, you kind of want to push down with your thumb and up with your 3rd finger. Most typically, you'll do full step bends, and that's when the bend is bending to the note a whole step above where you first started. So a whole step bend is trying to sound this note when starting a whole step below. And there's also half step bends, where you're just bringing the note, bending it up a half step. Another articulation that sounds pretty similar to a bend is a slide. And that's when you pick a note and you slide it. So this would be a whole step slide and a half step slide. Okay, the last articulation that I want to look at today is called vibrato. And actually it comes from a singer's perspective, because vibrato is a natural wavering in pitch. There's a couple different techniques of vibrato that I've seen. The one that I use most often is the B.B. King technique, where if you watch him play, his thumb will actually come off the guitar, and actually his whole hand will kind of detach. You can kind of see it there, and his finger will be the only thing on the guitar. You know, and he has that really smooth, really nice, even, clean vibrato. I think B.B. King had the best vibrato on his lines. But then there's also like the more rocky vibrato, where it's more of a vertical string bend, where it's going up and down, where B.B. King's tends to, your finger is kind of rocking back and forth like that, horizontally. I like to do both. You should practice both. The second one is more, like I said, more vertical. And you tend to hear it more with those big bends. Stuff like that. More in rock music, where I personally, I tend to hear more of this on kind of like on bluesier stuff, the horizontal vibrato. But you should be familiar with both, because you might hear a vibrato on a bend, and if you don't know how to do that technique, then this B.B. King vibrato won't really help you out there. So practice both. So today we learned all about articulations. We learned that articulations really help make your lines sound so much more expressive and carry more emotion in them than without them. Some of the articulations that we learned are hammer-ons, pull-offs, slides, bends, and vibrato. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, smash that like button, give a subscribe to Music Over Miles. My name is Tom Watkins. I'm a guitar player, singer, songwriter, teacher. If you want to learn more information about this, head over to tomwatkins.rocks, and I'll see you in the next video.